Here we are with Maven, the man himself. Maven, we've seen these events, we see what's happening. Are these teams playing out like you thought they would?
Some of it, sure. We did predictions. We've been doing a podcast called Hard Points at Home with myself, Crowder, TP, and Merck, and so far I don't think anyone's gotten it perfect. I guess the big surprise for me, not really a big surprise, but Minnesota. I mean, they're going to come out of the group, get to a semifinal. I think some of us slept on them because they weren't at London, which can be expected, but they look so strong if you look back to Minnesota, but we kind of questioned because their competition wasn't that strong, at least that particular event. But they beat Paris, and I think all of us, Paris kind of, I don't want to say tricked us, but like consistently they were looking good. We had Paris coming out, and Minnesota do it. That's probably the first thing that surprised me. The other, I've gone on record as saying I think OpTic is going to be one of the top teams in the game, if not the top team given enough time. I did expect improvements. I really thought we were not going to see a top team, but a competitive team. They didn't look much better, and that worries me a bit. So that's another surprise I had for sure.
What do you think's going on there? I mean, we got great players like Kenny. You know, you got some veteran players on there as well, like Slasher. Like, what's happening here?
They're just not on the same page. I think this game, Hardpoint's a lot different than it's ever been before. Dom added the rotation, plays different than Dom has in the past. They don't really know how to play the game that well yet, and I think compounding the issue is they're not playing together very well. So when it clicks, and that early in titles that happens a lot though, like some players and some teams take longer to learn the game and they seem to be on the lower end of that spectrum. I think once they learn it and it's just the talent shining, they're going to be nasty. It's just now I'm worried, like, when's it going to happen? Because I don't think it's too late yet. I mean, we're only a couple events in, but next month or two, it better click. It's got to.
Well, we'll see. Their home opener's coming up very soon as well, so we'll see what they do there. You mentioned these tournaments. We've seen the placing, the seeding kind of, Paris top 4 in London. Are these positions mean anything right now this early?
Yes and no. I think you definitely don't want to get too far behind like OpTic is, but I don't think anyone's out of it yet. It's just, what do we have, like 14 home series? We've had 2 of them. So no, I don't think now matters too much, but a month or 2 from now, especially when we get in that stretch, what is it, March, where it's 4 events back to back to back to back, I think after that, that's when you're really going to see the dust sort of start to settle and have a good idea of how that playoff picture is going to start to look. But no, I wouldn't be worried too much yet. No.
Well, I got to ask you real quick about last night's draw that we saw between Florida and OpTic. You mentioned OpTic there. Did you think that had any effect maybe in the series, getting there and having that stall basically on stage?
I mean, God, nobody wants that. I mean, you kind of get eye stripe, but you can't blame anything. You lost around 11. You lost in the clutch moments of that if you're OpTic. Those were 2 very painful losses, but no, I don't think you can pin it on the 20 minutes. I'm just glad that our league ops side, or whoever made that decision, used common sense, because we were all a little bit worried, because you think back to the phase luminosity thing that happened at London last year, where it's hard to go against what the game says. The game says draw, but I'm glad that they used common sense. Florida won the game. They gave Florida the win. I think it was the correct call.
Well, Chance had predicted it. It sounded like previously when him and Benson were talking about it.
Apparently.
We saw Benson's reaction last night. It was crazy,
Well, what was insane about it actually is that 2 days ago, I think on Reddit, I saw that bug. It was the first time I've seen where that draw could happen, and I'm like, well, hope that doesn't happen at the event. And then, of course, man, of course.
Well, we saw his reaction. What would your reaction be in those moments? We've seen through the years some crazy reactions. What kind of face you got for us in the draw reaction?
All right, I got this. Sweet mother of God!
Awesome.
Everyone's looking at me.
Now everyone's wondering why we're doing that.
Set him down over there. I'm always yelling.
Well, it's no doubt to everybody the reason why you won Esports Broadcast of the Year. It shows your reaction, the fun you have, how you're able to adapt with everything, every moment. What did that mean to you to get that award?
I meant a lot, because I will be 100% honest, I didn't expect to win, just because at times in the history of esports there's been, I don't want to say like a negative connotation, but it's like almost like PC elitist in the sense of, like, when you think of like your Counter-Strike, your League of Legends, they put like Call of Duty in the tier 2, and that's sort of been a thing I've dealt with my entire career, is some people sort of frowning upon console esports. So when I went to it and saw the competition and saw who was on the panel, which the panel of voters was 80% people that were from the PC side of things, so I'm like, I'm screwed. And then when I found out I was winning, I was, you gotta be kidding me. Like, it was really cool, because one, I was surrounded by a ton of talented people, anyone that I thought was gonna be able to win it, but just to be able to represent Call of Duty and kind of put it on the map with that award, I thought was awesome. It meant a lot. getting recognized by fans and the Call of Duty community is one thing. To get recognized by your peers and other super talented people, that's a different story. It was awesome.
Well, what would you say to that guy that's out there that's thinking about casting or want to cast? Maybe they already started. What are some pointers you would give to them?
It's tricky. I get asked that a lot when I'm streaming and stuff, and it's tough because my come up was a little bit weird because I got involved in esports so early. My first MLG event was like 2004, and things have changed a lot since then. I mean, I commentated for a year and a half without getting paid. I mean, I've had my story out there. It was a dark time when I first started commentating, but just keep plugging away and get your foot in the door anywhere. I mean, look at somebody like Merck. I know he's a pro player, but like he got in with the league ops side first, or if you can get in as a ref like Fwiz did, like any sort of foot in the door. Don't think anything's beneath you when it comes to getting that first job. Just get a foot in the door, plug away, whether it's via YouTube, commentating anything you can. Like just starting with a CDL is not realistic, but whether it's something like College COD or some of the amateur stuff, or just finding videos like this and trying to replicate them on YouTube, and you just gotta plug away, man. It's a grind, it is, but gotta get your name out there somehow.
I got to ask you, anything fun for your stream coming? All your fans out there, anything cool you got planned?
I mean, I guess all of us are just wondering if the rumor and speculations are true, if we're going to have something new to play soon, which I'm kind of hoping might be the case. But most of the fun just comes from, we have a fun dynamic with our guys, like myself, TP, Merck, and Crowder. We play together basically every day. And then I have Copper, my German short-hair pointer, who kicks the shit out of me sometimes when I'm streaming by climbing on top of me. So those will be the funny moments. But yeah, you can catch the personal stream when I'm not here at twitch.tv/Maven. I have a lot of fun. And what's nice for me is on broadcast I have to be very professional and no swearing and keep it 100 and stuff. And I love that. But when it's a personal stream, it's just I get to have a little more fun and loosen up, so that's a blast for me.
Awesome. We can't wait to see some more of those licks your dog does on your head as well, right? Yeah. All the time. Thanks so much, Maven.